It's 5 a.m. You get out of bed, hit the showers, change your work clothes. You grab a coffee you don't even have the time to taste. You step out, and bam, you're at war. You battle for a seat at the bus. You sit in 2 hours of traffic on EDSA one way. You spend 150 pesos on Grab to move only 3 kilometers. You finally get to the office at 8:58. Already tired, already exhausted. And for what?
Ugh.
You open your laptop, you get set, you log on, hop onto a Zoom call with a teammate that's sitting 3 desks away from you.
Bruh.
Welcome back to Minecraft. Today, we're opening the wound that just won't heal. We're unpacking the great return to office mandate in corporate Philippines.
Ugh.
We're also going to ask the question everyone, or most people, are afraid to ask their boss. Why? Why are we doing this? Let's figure this out. Tara! Now let's be fair. Let's look at the official HR memo. They'll use beautiful corporate approved words. They say it's for collaboration. They say we just spark better ideas together. Which is sometimes true as common sense becomes more increasingly uncommon these days.
Bruh.
But did you ever ask if the cost of that spark is worth 4 hours of your time every day? I'm speaking for all my city-dwelling friends there, of course, Manila, Cebu. They'll say it's for company culture. We miss the kulitan, we miss the spontaneous merienda. And look, I do miss the kulitan too as much as the next guy. But I'm afraid this is a bit more than that. Culture is not a pizza party. Culture is not a physical wall. Culture is how you're treated. Culture is trusting your employees. This is the one that they love to use against Gen Z. How will the fresh grads learn? They need to see you work. All these things sound nice, I'll admit. They sound logical, rational, even. But if collaboration and mentorship were the real reasons, why does it feel so punitive? Why does it feel like we're kids being told playtime is over? It's time to talk about the real tea, the real reasons. Let's be real. A lot of the tito or tita bosses, or what I call the old guard, they survived on management by looking busy. They need to see you at your desk looking busy. For 2 years, we were productive. We hit targets. We delivered. But in their heads, they have this fantasy that we're just watching Suits or Crash Landing on you all day during work hours. They think our productivity is a fluke. They don't trust you. They don't believe you're working unless they see you suffer. Sounds familiar? Productivity to them isn't about output. It's about presence. It's all about watching over you. It's a power play. Work from home gave us, the employees, a little bit of power, a little bit of our lives back. We proved we could do the job without the 7-Eleven diet or the soul-crushing commute. RTO is the company's way of snatching power back. It's about reestablishing the hierarchy. It's about saying, I own your time from 9 to 6. Not just your work, your time. And you will be where I tell you to be. It's not leadership. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like a leash. This is one they never want to admit. Your company is probably locked into a long-term lease on that gigantic shiny new building in BGC or Makati or any commercial business district. They're paying millions a month for that real estate, and it looks bad for the big bosses and the investors to be paying for a ghost town. You're not just RTOing for collaboration, you're RTOing as furniture, in a sense. You're there to justify the rent. Sayang yung bayad eh. You're literally commuting 2 hours per way to work just to be an ass in the seat, so the office doesn't look empty. It's insane.
Chill!
And that real estate point, that sayang yung bayad factor, that is just a tip of a massive iceberg. Look, I get it. We're the ones stuck in traffic. It's our pain that we feel. But if we try to put on our big boss glasses for a bit, we'll see it's a bit more than just our bosses trying to be control freaks or management. The RTO mandate is all about the entire ecosystem of corporate Philippines fighting for its life. There's always two sides to a coin. Think about it. An office building is not just a building. It's the carinderia downstairs or across the street that sells maybe 100, 200, 300 sisig lunches every day. It's or the coffee shop at the corner who relies on the 9 a.m. caffeine rush. It's the Jolly Jeep, the convenience store, the gyms, the printing shop, the Grab drivers, the condo rentals, even Manang who sells yosi by the entrance. When we all went from home during COVID, this entire ecosystem that I'm mouthing off about died in a sense. And the big bosses of those ecosystems, from the big players such as mall owners or building owners or operators or developers like Ayala, SM, Megaworld, down to the humble Manang or Manong, just trying to make an honest living, fighting for scraps or fighting for what's left of the market just to feed their families. Their entire business model is just built on one thing: foot traffic. That's why when I come to think of that angle, I think of RTO as not just a simple control mechanism or even tax breaks. We'll get to that later. It's about revitalizing the economy. This is another piece of the proverbial RTO pie, especially for my BPO and IT people out there. Why are so many BPOs or tech companies in shiny buildings in BGC, Eastwood, Ortigas, Cebu? One word: PEZA. Companies in these zones get massive tax breaks, like huge tax breaks. Very huge. Ginormous. They pay way less tax. But what's the condition, you say? The fine print? They have to physically operate inside that zone. So when everyone went work from home, the government said, "Teka, sandali lang, pump the brakes. If your employees are in Cavite or Bulacan, why are we giving you a tax break for being in BGC?" So in essence, you could say the government literally put a gun to their heads. They said, mandate RTO or your tax breaks are gone, done, zero, nothing. Then perhaps a lot of these companies aren't just playing the contrabida role. Sometimes it's a matter of choosing the lesser evil. They're choosing between forcing you back to the office or paying billions in taxes. And guess who they'll pass that cost on to if they'll have to pay it? I'll give you a clue. It's not them.
Ugh.
Another piece to consider is this: productivity paranoia. This is different from your Tito boss's mistrust, okay? This is the paranoia of the stock market. Big investors, big money, they get scared by things they can't see and measure. Butts in seats, easy to measure. Creativity and output from 1,000 different houses, try measuring that. RTO is a PR move from the looks of it. It's a performance art for investors. It's a signal to the stock market that everything is under control, everything is normal, everyone is busy, please don't sell our shares. So, gets na? It's a two-way street. There are massive economic and political forces at play here. But here's the problem. It's a two-way street, but we're the ones paying for it. It feels like we're the ones absorbing the cost in time, in money, in sanity, to keep this old system alive. And speaking of cost, let's talk about the real cost. Let's talk about receipts. So we established the why is questionable. Now let's talk about the cost. Not the cost to the company, the cost to us. Let's do the math. Let's try to be super conservative. Whether it's Grab, Angkas, MRT, Taxi, Move It, Grab, did I say Grab?
Bruh.
Jeeps, tricycles. Let's just say per way, let's say it's 150 pesos each way. That's 300 a day. Food. You're not eating your baon from home. You're buying coffee, 150. You're buying lunch, 200. That's 350. Your total every day is 650 pesos. Times 5 days a week, that's 3,250. Times 4 weeks a month, 13,000 pesos. 13,000. That is 13K out of your pocket just for the privilege of being in the office. That's second rent. That's an investment. That's just gone. And did your salary increase by 13K too? Sure as hell not.
Ugh.
Syempre hindi. Let's take on the side of time. 2 hours papunta, 2 hours pa uwi. That's 4 hours a day. 4 hours a day is 20 hours a week. 20 hours a week is 80 hours a month. That is 2 full-time work weeks you're spending unpaid just sitting in traffic. Some smart asses would say, what could you do with 80 hours? Hayaan nyo na, ako bala.
Uh-oh.
Let me start. Sleep, see your family, start a side hustle, go to the gym, learn a new skill, live your damn life. But no, you're giving it to EDSA. And this is the final insult. This is what makes the giggle more intense, if you will. You do all this, you spend 13K a month, you lose the 80 hours, you arrive at your desk, and the first thing you do is you put on your noise canceling headphones to avoid the collaboration. And you log into a Zoom call with your boss who is working from home. The audacity, the hypocrisy. Just thinking about it makes my blood boil. Now let's talk about the compromise, the hybrid setup. This is the ultimate budol. Oh, we're flexible. You only have to come in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. What does that really mean? It means you get the worst of both worlds. You still have to pay for the commute, the food, the RTO cost. You can't build a stable routine. And it's always the worst days. It's the days with the most meetings, the most useless meetings. And you know what happens? The 3 days a week becomes, can you come in on Monday too for this client? And then eventually, a couple of days later, or a week or so later, pagsindot na rin yung Friday. Can you come into work on Friday too? May town hall. Hybrid isn't a compromise. It's just RTO with a flexible label. Look, here's the final T. This entire debate is not just about productivity. We were productive. This isn't about culture. We can build culture on trust. This is about an outdated 20th century mindset where work is a place you go to versus a 21st century mindset that work is a thing that you do. This is about productivity versus presence, sadly. And right now, presence is winning. Not because it's better. It's just because that's what most people are in power comfortable with. They're forcing us to sacrifice our time, our money, our mental health for their comfort. Or at least that's how most of us feel. So if you're out there stuck in traffic thinking this is stupid, let me tell you this. You're not crazy for thinking that this is all stupid, because it is. And that's our shift. I need to hear your stories about this. What is the absolute worst or most nakakagigil RTO experience you've ever had? What's your daily commute time? How much money do you actually burn? I know I've made estimates, but let's have a group therapy session in the comments. It's the least we could do. Like and subscribe. Salamat for watching.